A sadistic and merciless executioner, Pyramid Head, is fixated on dispensing punishment through pain, encumbered by the steel frame upon his head and with a hulking great blade in tow. He stalked the hellish corridors of Silent Hill, committed to a duty that no one truly understood. Where he trod, even monsters fled from the shadows, and those who crossed his path fell victim to unrestrained acts of aggression. But what is the nature of this duty, and who is this unstoppable force of judgment? To understand the executioner, we must first look into the fog-shrouded history of the town that birthed him, and into the fractured mind of a man he was created to punish. Pyramid Head is not just a monster. He is the manifestation. He is the living symbol of guilt, born from the psyche of a man named James Sunderland. James came to the town of Silent Hill after receiving an impossible letter from his wife, Mary, who had died from a terrible illness 3 years prior. He was a man drowning in sorrow and denial, and Silent Hill created a personal hell just for him, a world populated by creatures reflecting his inner turmoil. Pyramid Head was the centerpiece of this hell. His very appearance was torn from James's subconscious, inspired by a painting of the town's historic executioners that James had once seen. Those executioners wore the same oppressive triangle helmet, and in James's mind, they became the ultimate symbol of judgment. Pyramid Head exists for a single purpose: to punish James for his sins, specifically for the truth of his wife's death, a truth James himself was desperately trying to bury. The massive blade he drags behind him, the great knife, is a physical representation of the heavy burden of James's guilt. Every scrape of it against the rusted floors of the Silent Hill is a reminder of his crime. Pyramid Head's brutal, aggressive, and overtly masculine violence towards the other creatures in Silent Hill is a reflection of James's own repressed anger and frustration during his wife's long illness. He is everything James hates about himself, brought to life and given a blade. In the end, after forcing James to confront the unbearable truth, Pyramid Head's purpose was fulfilled. As James accepted his reality, the executioner no longer had a role to play. When his duty was complete and his presence no longer needed, he prepared for the long rest. And yet, his skills were required elsewhere. The fog that streamed over him was somehow different than that he was accustomed to in Silent Hill, as if each wisp contained the nerves of a creature writhing, seeking him out. This new fog was not a product of one man's guilt. It was something more ancient, a malevolent consciousness known as the entity. It recognized the raw power of Pyramid Head, not as a mere symbol, but as a perfect instrument of torment. The entity saw an executioner whose purpose was to inflict suffering upon those who felt they deserved it. There was an unspoken agreement in that moment. The billowing cloud was an invitation of duty and sadism, and Pyramid Head, taking a step into the fog, accepted his obligation once more. His hunt was no longer for one man, but for any soul unfortunate enough to be trapped in this new realm. He became a tool for a different master, yet his function remained unchanged. Whether in the tormented corridors of the Silent Hill or the twisted realms of the entity, Pyramid Head's purpose remained the same: to be a merciless reflection of guilt, a tormentor born of pain, and an executioner whose judgment is both inescapable and eternal. And so, the executioner's duty continues, leaving the mists of Silent Hill to answer the call of the entity, and now he stalks the realms of Dead by Daylight. But it makes you think, now that he's part of the fog, has his purpose really changed? Is he still a symbol of a personal guilt, or has he become something else entirely, a pure instrument of the entity's will, inflicting punishment on anyone who crosses his path? I want to know what you think. Let me know your theories in the comment. And while you're at it, tell me what you think of facing him in a trial. Is the executioner one of your mains, or a killer you absolutely dread going against? Speaking of killers, that brings me to my next video. As you all know, this channel is all about Dead by Daylight. and I want to dive deep into the lore of the characters we play as and against every single day. So I want you to tell me, which killer's story should I tell next? It could be an original character, like the Trapper or the Huntress, or another licensed legend like Michael Myers or Albert Wesker. Put your suggestions in the comments below. I read every single one, and your choice could be the very next lore read you see on this channel. If you've enjoyed this deep dive into the mind of Pyramid Head, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more Dead by Daylight lore and content. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the fog. Follow for more. My name is Jhn. Thanks for watching.